This week on State of Texas, the race for Attorney General. Ken Paxton gets national attention and has support from the governor and Donald Trump. But will that be enough to get him reelected?
It is time for Ken Paxton to resign and focus on his own legal woes and issues.
We go in depth with the high-profile Republicans working to get Paxton voted out of office, why they say it's time for Texas to make a change.
The state of Texas hasn't had an attorney general who's willing to stand up for the rights of the people. In fact, our attorney general has been asleep at the wheel.
From racial justice to women's rights and looser marijuana laws, Democrats look to make their mark on the AG's race. We'll look closer at the ideas the candidates are pushing to win your vote. And what do Texas voters think about the candidates? What new polling shows us about who has the edge and who could make a move in the race for Attorney General?
Produced from the Capitol in Austin and airing statewide, this is the award-winning State of Texas.
Hello, and thanks for joining us. I'm Maggie Glenn, in for Josh Hinkle. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton routinely makes headlines for filing lawsuits against the federal government. In recent weeks, his office sued to block the Biden administration's COVID vaccine mandates. Another lawsuit aims to make the feds resume building the border wall. Lawsuits like those have made Paxton popular with Texas Republicans. But in recent months, Paxton's own legal troubles have sometimes received more attention than his work. He's being investigated by the FBI over claims he used his office to help a political donor. And he faces a lawsuit from former members of his staff claiming wrongful firing and retaliation after they reported Paxton to the FBI. Plus, there's still a criminal case from 2015 when he was indicted on securities fraud charges. Earlier this month, East Texas Congressman Louis Gohmert said he worried the accusations against Paxton could hurt efforts to keep the Attorney General's office in Republican hands.
I'm extremely concerned that our Attorney General wins, and because I'm aware of what's gone on and some of the fine people that have filed referral to the FBI, that they'll wait and they'll indict him after the primary, and then you can't change who's on the general election form. And he only won with 50.6% of the vote last time. This time he would lose. We'd have a Democrat for Attorney General. I'm willing to run for Attorney General, and nobody will outwork me in campaigning for Attorney General.
Gohmert announced this week he would run against Paxton in the primary instead of running for re-election to Congress. Two other Republicans are already in the race. Current Land Commissioner George P. Bush announced his campaign in the summer. Former Texas Supreme Court Justice Eva Guzman also jumped in the race. All of them said in one form or another that the charges and accusations facing Paxton were factors in them getting in the race. But we asked all of them whether they thought the accusations rose to the level that the Attorney General should resign. Here's what they said.
Ken Paxton was accused by 7 of his hand-chosen attorneys. These are people he picked. These are conservative lawyers. This is not the Democrats coming over Ken Paxton. These are his hand-chosen attorneys with lives and careers and families. And they went to the FBI and they said, my boss, I believe, is guilty of criminal wrongdoing.
That being said, do you think he should resign?
Yes, I do. For the good of the people of Texas, as Congressman Chip Roy said in October of 2020, it is time for Ken Paxton to resign and focus on his own legal woes and issues and his defense, frankly, because he's going to need it.
He gets investigated by the FBI for potential corruption and abuse of office charges. Look, this is Texas. We've got 28 million people. We deserve to have an attorney, a top attorney, that's above criminal approach, not out on criminal bond, and focused on the day-to-day challenges of the good people of our state.
That being said, do you think he should resign?
Absolutely, but I don't think he has it in him to do it. He knows, as a good lawyer does, the best way to stay out of jail is to delay the cases. And for the securities fraud case that he faces, we're in year 7. What I've challenged him to do is actually sit down under the 6th Amendment and exercise your right to a trial and sit in front of your peers and let's clear the air. Ken, why won't you sit down for a jury trial and see if you truly are innocent?
Republican State Representative Matt Krause had said he would run for AG, but after Gohmert joined the race, Krause decided to end his campaign. We did reach out to Paxton's office and his campaign to try to get an interview. We did not receive a response before our deadline for this program. Paxton faces a tough re-election challenge from people in his own party.
This office needs to be turned upside down. It needs to be reformed.
We go in depth with the Republicans in the primary race for Attorney General, the reasons they're running and why they believe they can win.
Right now, we need an Attorney General who speaks out for Republicans, Democrats, Independents, every Texan.
Texas Democrats look to break the decades-long Republican hold on the Attorney General's office. We'll look closer at the ideas the candidates are pushing to win your vote.